Hello, welcome to your top to toe Pilates flow. If we haven't met before, my name is Emma. I've been teaching Pilates for 10 years and I happen to be registered blind. So although he's settled at the moment, you might hear my guide dog pit pattering around or getting involved in the video because he loves the camera. But when you're ready, let's come down to the mat and yeah, get ready to flow. So if you've got wrist or knee pain, you might need some extra padding here, maybe a thicker mat or a towel, a pillow. Otherwise, there are plenty of videos on my channel which are wrist and knee friendly if it doesn't work. But let's start over on our hands and knees in a nice box position. And we're going to spread the hands nice and wide if we can, with the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart. And just take a moment to take a deep breath in and breathe out, pulling your belly button away from your clothing. When you take your next inhale, start to lengthen your chest and your tailbone up, finding this extension through the back. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your spine up, pull your belly button in towards you more, tucking your head, your tailbone under. And then go back the opposite way, lifting through the chest, the tailbone. And just notice how the spine feels today. Maybe you can arch one way more than the other. Maybe there's a certain area of the spine that's feeling quite tight. I remember with my practice, I always encourage you to close your eyes as well and really feel the movement. Notice maybe the temperature around you, the sounds. And then when you're ready, find somewhere in the middle, a nice flat back, like you've got a tray of food and drink on your back. You don't want to spit it. Tuck your toes under for me and just have a little shift of the weight back and forth. So we're going to shift the weight so we sit back towards the heels, stretch out the toes, and then shift the weight forward slightly over the wrists. So when I start to add more onto this routine, if you need to come back to these cat stretches and shifts back and forth, come back to these anytime you need. Otherwise, we're going to go into a nice little flow from here. So come back to your box, untuck your toes. We're going to start to bend our elbows towards us, like the elbows are brushing the rib cage as we lower our nose or chest down to the floor. And then we slowly push back up. From there, we're going to take our right leg. We're going to glide it nice and long behind us, so the foot is still on the floor. From there, we're then going to lift, I'm hitting the plant, we're going to lift the leg up and give me tiny little pulses up as you flex your foot. So your toes point down to the floor. And as you flex and pulse up, feel the glutes squeezing. No sinking into the back, you've got a tray on your back. And then place the foot to the floor. We're going to slide it out to the side like we're drawing a big circle all the way around to the side until your foot can plant into the floor by the side of your right hand. So right foot by the side of the right hand. And you're going to have your foot and your ankle directly underneath your knee. So we're finding this lovely hip opener here. From there, press into the hands, making sure you're not sinking, the knees not opening out to the side, and just take a moment to feel that stretch. From there, we're going to walk the hands up, lift nice and tall in that lovely hip flexor stretch. We're going to squeeze our arms back behind us, so we're lifting nice and tall. Palms are facing in towards one another, and we're feeling this slight squeeze through the shoulder blades. From there, we're going to sweep the arms in front and try fold our body forwards a little bit more, deepening that stretch into the hips so the weight is slightly shift forwards. It's almost like we're folding our upper body over the leg, over the thigh like a book, and we're stretching our arms out nice and long. We then pull back up, squeeze the arms back behind us, place the hands back down to the floor, underneath the shoulders. You're going to sweep the leg back around, sits underneath the knee, and then we'll do the same to the other side. So nice little flow. So when you're ready, we start with our tricep dip. We bend the elbows, we let the elbows brush by our side, let the nose come down to the floor. Push all the way back up. Slide this time your left leg nice and long. Feel the belly button pulling away from your clothing as you lift the leg up to hip height, and just give me tiny little pulses up. Toes point down towards the floor as the foot is flexed. And as you pulse up, you're moving no more than an inch or two. From there, place the leg down to the floor, sweep the leg all the way around to the side, like you're drawing this big circle. Keep bringing the foot all the way around until the foot can step to the outside of the left hand. You're feeling that lovely stretch. From there, we walk up, so we're lifting nice and tall on our back knee, the front foot, finding length through the spine. Squeeze your arms back behind you, feel the shoulder blades without popping through the rib cage. From there, sweep the arms forwards, deepen that stretch into that hip at the front. So it's almost like the back leg, you kind of lengthen a little bit, and the front leg, you bend into it a little more. You stretch your arms, I would say higher than shoulder height, not quite next to your ears, but yeah, just pointing up to the diagonal. And fold your chest towards your thigh. We come back up, we place the hand down to the floor, we step the leg back, we go on the other side. We're going to flow a little bit more now we know the routine. Back into our box, we take a deep breath in, we come into our tricep dip. We push all the way back up, we sweep the right leg back. We lift it up to hip level and we do those little pulses up. We feel the glutes working, belly button pulling in, we tap the leg to the floor, we draw this big circle, sweeping all the way around until the foot steps right by the outside of the hand. We walk ourselves up, we find this lovely lift. We squeeze our arms back behind us, and then we reach forwards into that stretch a little bit more. We come back, we place the hands down to the floor, we step the leg back, we come back into our tricep dip. We go again, deep breath in, exhale to push it up. Slide the left leg back, lift it up, little pulses, I'm hitting the plant again. Tap the leg down, sweep it all the way around to the outside. Try not to shift the hips. As we push the leg down, we're gonna roll up to our nice tall position. We squeeze the arms back behind us. We bring the arms forwards as we fold towards that front leg. When we come back, we place the hand down, step the leg back. Let's go one more time each side. Readjust into your tricep dip. We push back up. Slide the leg back, lift it up, little pulses. Really feel those glutes squeeze. The glutes can be so lazy. Tap the leg down, sweep it around. Feel this lovely opening as you sweep around. Place the foot down. Walk yourself up. Squeeze the arms back. Send yourself forwards, deepening into that stretch. Come back, place the hands down, step back. One more time on the other side. Find your tricep dip. Pulling your belly button in. Think about controlled, slow movement. Lengthen the leg, lift it up, little pulses. We have even weight through both hands. Place the foot to the floor, draw that big circle, try not to move your hips. Place the foot by the side of that hand, walk yourself up. Find your balance, nice tall position. Squeeze the arms back behind you. Shoot the arms forwards, come into that deeper stretch through the hips. Come back, place the hands down. Step the leg back, feet together, knees open. Stretch into your child's pose. So knees are to the width of the mat. Toes are together. Drop your forehead down, stretch the arms long. Take a breather. And then slowly walk yourself up, lift nice and tall. Swivel round so you're now on your back. So lots of hippie stuff there. We're going to do more hips now and legs. So this is really nice, like a nice hip opener. We're also working the upper body as well. But when you're ready, we're going to be on our back. We're going to have our feet, so they're about a fist distance apart, parallel, and the heels are underneath the knees. Let the back of the head and the shoulders melt into the mat. And find this little gap underneath your neck and underneath your lower back, nothing too much. Create a little diamond on your belly. So where your belly button is, bring your thumbs, the pads of the thumbs together, and then pointing down towards your pubic bone, bring the tips of the fingers together. And let your hands feel the pelvis nice and level. From there, roll your hips in towards you so you flatten your back. And then go back to a neutral spine. As you flatten the back down, I want you to feel this lovely drawing in of the abdominals. This time, lift your tailbone a little bit. Keep pushing into the feet as you peel bone by bone off of the mat. Once you start to lift up a little bit more until the weight is on the shoulders, start to feel the legs and the glutes kick in. You've got this slide going from your knees down to your shoulders. And then slowly roll down bone by bone from the upper back to the middle. Find your flat back and then release back to a nice natural curve. Go again one more time here and then we're going to change it. We're going to flatten the back and you're going to feel, close your eyes and feel each part of your spine peeling off of the mat bone by bone until you lift yourself into that lovely bridge. And then slowly roll down again, feel each part of the spine coming down. Your shoulders are still on the mat and so is the head. And come back to your natural curve. From here, keep holding onto your pelvis. This time, press into the feet and we lift our pelvis straight up into our bridge. Squeeze the glutes. We lower the hips down just as we tap the mat. We squeeze, we lift back up. And we tap back down. Try to get both hips lifting at the exact same time. Try to think about squeezing those glutes as you lift. And you're not arching your back. As you lift up, try to tuck your tailbone under. Don't let your knees open or close at the minute. Keep nice and parallel. And then on this last one, squeeze and hold your bridge. Keep holding on to your hips. Roll onto the outside of your right foot, let the knee open, and then squeeze back in. Go on the other side equally. If you need to drop the hips down and practice this with your hips down and roll onto the outside of the foot here, that's okay too. And you're trying to do this without the pelvis moving. Keeping the back of the head and the shoulders on the mat. Let's go one more time to each side. Can we tuck our pelvis under a little more in that bridge? Come back up and then slowly roll down through the spine bone by bone and hug your knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. From there, place the feet back down and have the feet a little further away, about a foot away from you. Legs are still nice and parallel, knees are bent, and you're going to interlace your fingers behind your head so the thumbs run down your neck. Elbows are not too wide, they're not too narrow, they're somewhere in the middle. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, pull your belly button away from your clothing. Nod the chin in until you have about a fist distance underneath your chin and chest. From there, try to get your chest up towards your thighs. Don't let the pelvis move. And then roll back down. I want you to imagine on your stomach, carry on with that, doing that little curl up. I want you to imagine on your stomach you've got a little marble and you're trying to not make it move. You're trying to keep it steady. Let's add a little bit more. We're going to curl up. We're then going to sweep the arms out to the side like an aeroplane and draw them all the way around until the fingertips, I'm going to move my mic over a bit, until the fingertips tuck underneath the back of the legs. From there, can you deepen your curl up? Stay there as you take your arms off. You sweep them all the way out to the side, interlace them behind the head, and then slowly lower down. Let's go again. We roll up like we're peeling bone by bone off of the mat. Maybe we stay with this option. Maybe we sweep the arms out to the side into our aeroplane. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the legs. Deepen your curl up. Stay here for me as you sweep your arms back out to the side. Interlace them behind the head. And then slowly lower. Carry on with that. And as you do this, I want you to feel both feet evenly grounding into the mat. Can you make that sweep through the hands a little bit bigger each time? So you're really having to engage those deep abdominals. Let's go one more time here. Curling up. Doing that deeper reach if you can. And we're going to stay here, so do that deeper reach. Take one arm off, reach it nice and long by your side. Just hovered off of the mat, palm faces down. Take the other arm off, and you're going to pulse the arms down to the floor. So imagine you've got water by the side of you, and you're trying to make a little ripple in the water and not a full splash. And we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. We're pushing the feet into the mat today. So we're not lifting the legs. If you need to rest your head down, that's okay. Breathing in for 5 and breathing out. Make sure you still got that fist distance underneath your chin. And just notice that little breeze going through the hands as well. Good. When you're ready, interlace the hands back behind the head. Have a rest if you need to. Otherwise, take your right arm, reach it out long, twist and reach that arm to the outer side of the left leg. So you've peeled the right shoulder off of the mat. You then come back to center, hand goes back behind the head. You can either rest or stay lifted as you cross now your left arm to the outside of the right leg. And then we come back in. We're trying to get the opposite shoulder peeling off of the mat without the pelvis moving, without the legs moving at all. Good, breathing in, breathing out. One more time to each side. Keep grounding through the feet. And then last little bit, stay up if you can. We're going to take that right hand and we're going to sweep it to the outside of the right ankle, twisting from the waist up. We come back to center, hands behind the head. We twist over, left hand to the left side of the ankle. We come back to center. Legs are not moving. This is just the upper body. You're feeling the abs, the waist. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's go one more time to each side. And reach across. Interlace the fingers. Wrap the hands around the back of the legs. Can we curl up a little bit more? Sweep the arms out, interlace them behind the head. And lower down. Take a full body stretch for me. Where you reach your arms, your legs nice and long. Maybe give the wrists, the ankles a little rotate. Take a couple of deep breaths in. And exhales out, feeling that length going through the body. And you are done. I'm going to leave some stretches on screen so you can do another video where you stretch it all out. But other than that, guide dog didn't disturb us today. Other than that, have an amazing day and I'll see you next time for another one. Take care. Bye.